So far 10th edition has revealed big benefits for vehicles and ranged attacks. And while orcs are leading the way for melee with their port orky shooting and advance and charge war, generally it seems like melee has been downgraded in 10th. So let's look at my evidence. Toughness increases. Toughness has increased more than weapon strength, making it harder to kill vehicles. Some shooting has been compensated with high strength just for this reason, but melee hasn't seen that. We are likely to see rhinos move blocking infantry with them only being able to wound it on 6s. A power fist at best is going to be wounding on 5s now. There is an exception with big knights and stomper melee, but these aren't the norm. Ranged is powerful. With ranged attacks getting a glow up, it will promote gun lines. No need to get up close and personal. Why risk your melee being interrupted, then fighting first, or fighting on death abilities, when you can stand back and kill a unit? There's now loads of ignore cover abilities, which is really powerful, and with the devastating wounds being relatively common, those mortal wounds will spill over, making ranged all the stronger. Degrading is less impactful. It only seems like hit rolls are affected and only by a maximum of -1. It was always a key tactic to get a unit degraded to impact its effectiveness. This isn't doing as much now. Having more combat effective vehicles still at their full movement is pretty impactful to melee, as they move, block and soak up attacks so well. Most attacks only wound them on 5s and 6s. Disembark after moving. Moving in an assault vehicle and jumping out gives a great threat range. That range is even better with shooting units. You have the movement to get your guns in optimal range, but there's no need to worry about charges. Charges and engagements. Now requiring a unit to make base-to-base contact when charging is generally going to increase charge rolls. Whereas in 9th, a 7.5 inch gap can be charged with a roll of a 7, now it's 8. The rules for engagement making it a little harder to get as many models into combat as well. It'll be a tricky thing to play and not just apply the 9th edition rules here. Melee movement. Movement in melee has changed and it's less effective. Piling and consolidation has been tightened up so you get less free movement. A key thing for melee armies in 9th. Also, if you kill a unit, you can only consolidate if you can reach base to base with another unit or land an objective. So no more free movement just to grab space or block your opponent's movement. Falling back. Anything can fall back now, no need for CP spend. There's no more locking units into combat, and for a unit that has fly, they can leave it without hurting themselves. It also seems there's no more abilities to stop a unit falling back altogether like World Eaters had. Monsters can be shot in combat. Units with the monster keyword are often good at melee, and so in this edition they will be less safe being thrown into melee. A key tactic was to tie up good units with melee, and while they could fall back, they wouldn't be shooting or charging themselves. Now being able to shoot into combat means you'll be able to remove a threat without that key unit losing its main effectiveness. It can then shoot normally. A -1 penalty to do this isn't that high either. Actually, vehicles can shoot out of combat anyway, so the concept of tying up units with melee is perhaps not that good anymore. Overwatch in movement. The core Overwatch strat allows you to use it in the movement phase, not just when being charged. This means you can choose a unit that you would like to fire, rather than just the unit chosen as the object of the charge. This really makes flamer units particularly powerful. Running a melee squad across the board is all the more fraught with danger now. Reserves. A small change to reserves mean that units can't arrive into combat in the deployment zone, so you'll have to still make a charge and then potentially be overwatched as usual. This is an interesting angle to look at things and came from a fun chat with one of my channel members, Warhammer 40 Kev. So thanks very much for that, but I'll leave it to the viewers to decide whether we're onto something or not, so make sure you drop us a comment and let us know. I'm really looking forward to the 10th, I'm really enjoying the hobby at the moment, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.